Know your place, worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
So for those of you who do not remember how we know about these Dragon Ball Super movies, or this movie, is because back in mid 2017 there were leaks that Toei Animation was buying up domain names, 3 of them specifically, and the first one was called Dragon Ball 2018. I believe the second one was 2019 or 2020, and I believe the last one was 2021 or 2022, around that, but it's in the next 5 years or so. And that's how we knew about the first Dragon Ball Super movie, or how we've gotten hints about that movie up until it was confirmed that there was a movie. So there are 3 domain names, and I for a long time thought it was going to be a trilogy of movies that was going to come out, and that was going to be the future of Dragon Ball. Well, now I'm thinking a little bit differently, mainly because they decided to announce that Dragon Ball Super Broly is coming out in December 2018. So they are rebooting essentially these 90s, or for what it seems like, they're rebooting these 90s villains, or these 90s movies for Dragon Ball Super, and Broly is the first character that they are doing the reboot on, essentially. Now, the rest of the movies, if they are movies, this is sort of like a theory based on speculation about information that came out that sort of matches up with the Dragon Ball Super movie coming out in 2018. So I would say take all this with a grain of salt. But if we do take this to be literal and they are rebooting these movies, then it would make sense for them to go with the direction that Toei Animation is pushing with Dragon Ball Z's remastered movies that are coming out, I believe, later on this year in 2018. Now, if you haven't heard about this, then you aren't on Twitter and you're not following Toei Animation, because they've been pushing this like the last 2 weeks. And if you're not on Twitter, or if you are on Twitter and you haven't seen this, go ahead and follow Toei Animation. Follow me as well. You guys know where to find me, at Dragon Ball Black. But they are remastering 3 movies and they're putting them in the movie theaters, and that is Dragon Ball Z Broly, Dragon Ball Z Bardock, and Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn. Basically the best of the Dragon Ball Z movies that we had growing up, in my opinion. I mean, there really aren't, these are the main ones. I mean, I explained in my last video, I wasn't too big of a fan of Broly, but I loved Bardock, and Fusion Reborn is my favorite Dragon Ball Z movie. It has my favorite non-canon Dragon Ball Z villain from the movies, and so I'm extremely excited about that. But these 3 movies are being remastered at the end of this year and put out in certain movie theaters. So I'm like linking the dots here. I'm putting this puzzle together. So there's 3 domain names that have been grabbed up. One of them has already been confirmed. Dragon Ball 2018 is a 2018 movie that comes out at the end of this year. So we have 2 extra ones. These 3 movies are the next 3 chapters, essentially, that we're going to get in Dragon Ball Super. So we're going to get the Broly movie in 2018. Then after that, I mean, if you're going by this picture might not be 100% accurate, but I'm going to go by this picture and say that we're going to be getting the Broly 2018 movie. We're going to get a rebooted version of Bardock. And then finally, to finish off the trilogy, I guess, maybe after that Dragon Ball Super comes back or another series comes after that, but we're going to get Fusion Reborn in canon. And that is my theory, essentially, and that is just phenomenal, because now what I was worried about with Broly was my greatest appraisal for them doing this concept. I think that it is lazy to have a concept of rebooting something that has already been done instead of coming out with a new villain and a new story. But as long as the story is really good and they push it into a brand new level where it's different enough to be its own thing, I'm going to be happy about that. But the one thing that I was really excited about is the fact that they're coming out with these movies and they're rebooting Broly, and that opens up the floodgates to reboot and make other non-canon villains and storylines canon. And if I'm going by this theory, it looks like that may be what they're doing. They might be doing Bardock after that, and then they may be doing Fusion Reborn. Now, Bardock, Dragon Ball Z, I thought that was already canon because, we see some crossing between the anime and Frieza knowing who Bardock is and all that. So if they rebooted the story and actually made an actual story that is connected to the main line, that would be really cool. And I don't know exactly how they would incorporate Goku with Bardock, but it would be pretty awesome if they had it in a situation where maybe in a sense Goku and Vegeta end up going either back in time or in some way revisiting the events that happened to the death of Planet Vegeta. That would be a really cool and interesting movie, building off the Broly movie, who's supposed to delve even deeper into the Saiyan history and past. And so that would be really cool to see if this is like a trilogy of sorts, if they combine these three movies into a trilogy where they kind of bounce off each other. I can't think of a better way to do this. So Broly starts it off. We get to see the legendary Super Saiyan. We get to see more of the Saiyans past, and that storyline kind of speaks for itself. We already know a few little details about that. Then we get into Bardock, where we either follow Bardock on his mission to make sure that Frieza doesn't destroy his planet, but he ends up destroying it anyway, or we get to see our heroes Goku and Vegeta somehow interact with the events that happened back in the day with Bardock himself, or something along those lines. I mean, you guys can probably think of a better storyline than that, but I'm thinking that if they are rebooting Bardock, then they'd have to incorporate Goku and Vegeta in there somehow to make the story flow much better than just having a standalone Bardock movie that doesn't have anything to do with Goku and Vegeta. And lastly, we have Fusion Reborn, which is my favorite Dragon Ball Z movie. And with this movie, I mean, this movie, you literally can have Goku and Vegeta interact with dead Saiyans, Bardock, Vegeta's dad, all those, because it could take place in the afterworld. And one character that I really would like to see make a comeback is Pikkon. Pikkon has been gone for like the longest time, and he could be one of the major characters along with Goku in this movie. Vegeta, maybe he dies in Bardock, maybe something along those lines, and then he ends up coming back, similar to what happened in Fusion Reborn, the actual movie. And they could always twist it here and there. I mean, my biggest concern is making Janemba look even far more different than he does now, because right now they're rebooting Broly, where he looks completely different than how he looked back in the past in the original movie. We have Janemba here, who has the most iconic character design. Like, I think the best character design for a villain, in my opinion, one of the best. And so I don't think they should mess with that too much. They shouldn't touch that. I do want to see Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. I'm assuming that's the power level scaling that they're going to be at, but that movie could end off the trilogy where they go into the other world, as they stated in the anime, and they see Bardock and all these other characters, and have Janemba kind of run fluid with the story. Either way, I'm probably going to make other videos talking about these different movies and exactly how they could fit with each other a little bit better, but I kind of wanted to put this video out there and have this proposal for a theory that these three movies are going to be the trilogy, and they're going to be the next three movies that are coming out for Dragon Ball Super, these next three rebooted essentially storylines. So that's what I got for you guys. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of this. Do you guys think this theory has any validity to it? And if so, what cool storylines would you like to see incorporated, having all three movies incorporate with each other? The best answers I will use and give a shout out to in other videos that I make talking about these movies. Anyway guys, this is going to be Blackscape signing off.